Good morning, video games. Today is January 20th, 2021. My name is Brendan Bigley. It just snowed a lot here. I don't know if you can tell. It just snowed a lot here. It was really nice. But now it's done, so it's time for the news. Just starting off today with my favorite kind of story. Just an extremely silly video game story. So, the Nintendo Amiibo figure. You know it, you love it. Recently, Capcom announced that there were going to be some Monster Hunter Rise Amiibo from their like kind of Nintendo Direct, not Nintendo Direct. Their Capcom Direct, let's call it. This is what they look like. This is what the Amiibo look like. The Monster Hunter Rise Amiibo. They're nice. They're nice Amiibo. I don't know what they do in the game. I don't really remember, but this is what they look like. Well, Capcom just announced that there's going to be gold variants of these Amiibo, but you can only get them at Japanese 7-Eleven stores, and not everyone can get them because it's a raffle situation. It's a lottery. So when you go and pre-order Monster Hunter Rise, the video game, as a digital download, this can't be the physical version, from Japanese 7-Eleven stores, you are entered to win one of 10 sets total of these golden versions of the Monster Hunter Rise Amiibo. As is mentioned in this IGN piece, this is not the first time Capcom has done something like this. They did the same thing with this golden Mega Man Amiibo, which honestly, that thing looks rad. I'm not even like a huge Amiibo guy. I have a couple. I have a few Amiibo. I have the important ones. I have Waluigi. I have Tom Nook. But I would love this golden Mega Man. Anyway, if you're a person who collects Amiibo, if you're the kind of person who's like, I'm going to get every single Amiibo, this is like a nightmare scenario for you, and I'm very sorry, because how does one acquire these? Honestly, what I would do if I were you and you wanted a gold Monster Hunter Rise Amiibo, I would go buy these, disassemble them, because I think you can do that. I think you can take them off the base, and then get some gold spray paint and just, you know, just do it. You can do it yourself. DIY. I guess the question is, how gold are these? These images of these look extremely heavily edited. Like, look at how dark the light spots are on the cat's like ear and stuff. Because here's the thing, these aren't real gold Amiibo. I should stop talking about the gold Amiibo. I just think that they're really funny. Let's move on to something else, because I can't stop switching back and forth between the regular Amiibo and the gold Amiibo. I think I like the regular ones more. Honestly, I think the regular ones look nicer. I know if you're the kind of person who collects stuff, if like Amiibo is your collectible of choice, then you don't care what they look like. You just want the thing. But I mean, aesthetically, that's a much happier dog than that. That dog looks upset. That dog actually looks like it's been cursed and turned to gold against its will. Okay, let's, please, somebody, nobody's here to help me. This is a show I do by myself in my office before anyone else in the house has woken up. This is like, there's no one here to help me. There's no life raft coming. I need to have the willpower to hit the eject button from the Gold Amiibo story. Okay, goodbye Gold Amiibo. Balan Wonderworld is a video game that's coming out sometime in the spring, and it's one of those games that I'm just like so curious about, because I don't really know a whole lot about it. There was a trailer that came out a while back during the like Xbox Series video games announcement. I mean, look at this. This is awesome. What a vibe. So the game is by Yuji Naka, who is like the developer, creator of Sonic the Hedgehog. And Knights, if you played that on, I think, the Sega Saturn. He and his team got picked up. I think it's called Balan Company is the name of the developer now, or the name of like the mini studio in Square Enix. Got picked up by Square Enix, and this is the first game they're making for Square Enix. And it looks just like a kind of a classic 3D platformer, which honestly, I want one of those to succeed. I know there have been a couple recently. Ukulele, for example, was one that like really took off. A Hat in Time, I think people really liked as well. I would just love to see people like nail this genre of video game in 2021. It's been so long since I've like really played and enjoyed one of these that wasn't Mario, I guess. And the vibe on this game is just like unmatched. So I don't know. I'm excited for Balan Wonderworld. I'm hoping that it's good. And guess what? Why is this in the news? Because there's a demo coming to pretty much every platform. PS5, PS4, Xbox, Switch, Steam. You can get it on January 28th, which is 8 days from the time of this recording. So we'll know pretty soon if Balan Wonderworld is a fun video game, and I'm excited to find out. I have the sneaking suspicion that there wouldn't be a demo if the game wasn't fun already. So I'm excited to play it. Balan Wonderworld is a cool game coming soon to every platform. Up next, just wanted to highlight some Game Pass stuff. Specifically, I want to highlight The Medium, which is a game I meant to talk about a while ago and then did not. There was actually like a developer interview on the official Xbox blog, which I would recommend reading, Xbox Wire. There's good stuff in here every once in a while. But anyway, there was actually a developer interview with Bloober Team, who are making The Medium. They're the developers of Blair Witch, and they're making The Medium, which is like one of the first big Xbox exclusives. And it's, of course, coming straight to Game Pass, and it's coming soon, like really soon. Oh, also January 28th. Same day as the Balan Wonderworld demo, so big day for gaming. What? This game looks really wonderful. I'm really excited about it. It seems to be like a horror puzzle kind of thing, but the vibe is essentially you as the medium have the ability to traverse between two different worlds, which are overlaid on top of one another. It's just like a really wonderful use for the extremely fast load times of new consoles, specifically the hard drives in the Series S and X, which will allow you to swap back and forth between the two versions of the world pretty much at will, which I think is pretty exciting. You can see another example here. And probably use it to solve puzzles. What I would guess is that it's going to play very similarly to everyone's favorite first-person shooter level in Titanfall 2, the one where you get the ability to travel through time through a wristwatch and hop back and forth through time, and you get to see various versions of the facility that you're running through. I would guess that The Medium plays like a slow thriller version of that. Which, honestly, great idea. Really great idea for a video game. And that's coming straight to Game Pass on January 28th. But there's a bunch of other stuff coming to Game Pass soon. Control, if you are on PC, will be coming on January 21st, which is tomorrow. Control's a great game if you haven't played it. Donut County, one of my favorite like little indie games, is coming to Game Pass for Android, console, and PC, which is cool. The big one for me, though, personally, as excited as I am about The Medium coming on January 28th, you also get the Yakuza Remastered Collection, and I have recently become a very big Yakuza fan after playing Like a Dragon, and would love to go back and play some of the older stuff. The only other game that I had played in that franchise was Judgment, which was a spin-off of Yakuza that I also loved. So I would love to go visit the Remastered Collection. Also, Final Fantasy 15 is leaving on the 29th, so that's not a lot of time to play a very big JRPG, but what you can finish in that time is Grease, which is also an incredible game, and that'll only take like 2 or 3 hours, so please go play Grease. It's really good. Last but not least, I was on the Nintendo Switch subreddit, and the top thing on the Nintendo Switch subreddit was this article, which is from The Guardian. It's the greatest handheld game consoles ranked. And, of course, all the way at number 1 was the Nintendo Switch, which is why it was posted on the Nintendo Switch subreddit, because it's just, a bunch of people who love a thing saying, hey, look, validation, because a press outlet also loves our thing that we love. But honestly, this is like a wild list, and I don't think I'm ready to say that the Nintendo Switch is the greatest handheld of all time, so I decided to open up tiermaker.com, and I thought I would just very quickly do this, which is a very YouTube thing to do. I'm very aware of that, but I just thought this article was so silly that I want to do it. So just very quickly, I'm going to mention I have not used or played all of these handhelds, so I will only be ranking the ones that I have physically experienced, not owned, but have used, which is a big chunk of them, including the Nokia N-Gage. I think on the onset, I just want to mention that I'm probably going to also consider how well this stuff has held up, which I think is very important. So in that case, the Nokia N-Gage will probably be D rank, because the only game I remember playing on it was, I think, a Sonic game, and I think it might have been Sonic Advance, which is available on the Game Boy Advance. So here's a weirder thing. The Nintendo DS had a Game Boy Advance slot in it, so does that mean that it goes higher than the Game Boy Advance? I think it does. I'm just going to drop Nintendo DS in the A slot right away. I'm actually going to put the... Oh, this is already difficult. Okay, let me just say this. PlayStation Vita is S rank. That's one of the greatest handhelds of all time. PlayStation Portable. I heard somebody refer to it recently as the PlayStation P, which like really freaked me out. And just because of that YouTube video I watched, I'm gonna put this at C rank. There is good stuff on the PSP, but I'm not like really looking to go back to the PSP in a lot of instances. Really, the only game is Persona 3, which like you can emulate Persona 3 these days on a lot of things. And maybe one day it'll get ported. If they can port Persona 4 Golden, they can port Persona 3. All right, next. So we have the 3DS and then the new 3DS. Is that in here? Oh, the new 3DS is not listed here. So, unfortunately, we're going to have to conflate the 3DS and the new 3DS, which I actually do have very different opinions on. I think if we're gonna smash the two together, I'm gonna say that this is an S rank device. But if they were split apart, I would have new 3DS at S rank and regular 3DS at A rank. I just really like the look and feel of the new 3DS, specifically the small one. So there's the new 3DS XL, which I had briefly, and just wished and wished and wished and wished for Nintendo to release the smaller, non-XL version in the United States, and eventually they did. I specifically imported faceplates for the new 3DS. I got 2 sets of faceplates from Japan. One of them was the Timmy and Tommy Animal Crossing faceplates, which got me this like blue Animal Crossing logo, and then the other ones were the KK Slider ones, and I mixed and matched them and made my new 3DS beautiful. So anyway, that's why I would split those two up. But also, I just think the library is amazing. Plus, you can play DS games on the 3DS, so like, come on. So I guess if we're following that logic, then the Game Boy Advance has to go in B, which I do think is like that does feel like a nice middle ground. The Game & Watch I have played and is more fun than the Nokia N-Gage, I'll say that much. We have the Nintendo DSi, which is interesting to split the difference between the Nintendo DS and the DSi. I'm actually going to put them at the same level. I do think that the form factor here is nicer, but it also removed the Game Boy slot, I believe. But also, the Nintendo DS has, again, one of the greatest libraries maybe ever. Now, the Nintendo 2DS, which I always have thought looks like a piece of toast with buttons on it, this could go in a bunch of directions. So here's the thing. I like the 2DS a lot. I actually think the form factor is really great, and they made a really nice like seafoam green one. This one that they have depicted, this yellow and red one, I think is the Super Mario Maker one. I'm actually going to put it here in B. I think it's a great device, but it is definitely like a niche device. Look at how nice this is, this like seafoam 2DS. This one up top is like the official one. It's like a pastel, kind of like vapor wavy 2DS. It's a great device. I like it a lot. Now here's where things are going to get problematic, probably, for those of you watching. The original Game Boy, I'm going to put C rank. The Game Boy Color, I'm going to put B rank. Because I think it's hard to argue that the Game Boy Color is better than the Game Boy, the original, just in terms of technology and I would say form factor. I know people like the form factor of the original Game Boy, but the color screen is pretty hard to beat. Now, the Virtual Boy is also listed here, so I'm going to use the tiermaker.com add a row below button and change this to gross rank, and I'm going to put that right there where I think it belongs. Okay, so what's left here that I have played with is the Sega Game Gear and the Nintendo Switch. The Sega Game Gear, I think I could just throw with the Nokia N-Gage pretty easily. I don't have very fond memories of the Sega Game Gear. But the Nintendo Switch is where it gets really difficult. I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna throw it at A rank real quick and just see how this feels. PlayStation Vita and the 3DS, I actually do think are better devices than Nintendo Switch, so I already feel pretty good about this. Eventually, I think the Nintendo Switch will maybe attain the level of S rank, but at the moment, I think it remains to be seen. Maybe, years out, looking back, retrospect, hindsight is 2020, but right now it's 2021. I don't feel comfortable putting it there. But I think putting it on the level of the DS, I feel pretty good about. One of the big things here is the nostalgia factor, rose-tinted glasses. I'm in the process of revisiting a lot of games from some of these consoles, and that's making me want to put Game Boy Advance higher, but again, I could play Game Boy Advance games on the Nintendo DS, so I think like as a handheld console, probably better. So I'm going to say this is it. I'm going to say this is the tier list. Thank you, The Guardian, for trying your best out here, but here's the official Good Morning Video Games handheld console tier list. Anyway, that's going to be it for me today. I'm going to go enjoy the snow, and by that I mean I'm going to sit here in this chair and continue to work an entire 9-to-5 day at my normal job. But thank you all so much for watching. Hey, if you like the show, please hit the subscribe button. Maybe tell a friend about it. Comment down below if you vehemently disagree with my tier list. These consoles that are left, where do you think they should go? And hit the like button. That'd be cool. All right, I'm going to go, but please have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow for another edition of Good Morning Video Games, where the most important meal of the day is video games. Goodbye.